I'm a material scientist, and you must be wondering what is illusion, what is the Maya I'm going to talk about. For me as a materials engineer, nature has been the mentor, measure, and a model to get inspiration and enable a lot of things out there for us all. So what I want to talk about, the nature, the illusionist, how it creates the illusion of colors. And that's why I've titled this talk as Are Colors Real? Well, we did have a good activity with colors right before this, so that really helps. Let's start with how do you see things around us? How do you perceive the world around us? We are gifted with 5 instruments. Eyes to see, nose to smell, ear to hear, skin to touch, tongue to taste. And we are enabled by these sense organs to perceive the world around us, but at the same time, we are also limited by the same. And that is my effort today to put across. Let's just have a slight experience about illusions. I'm sure all of you have seen this. And I'm sure all of you agree that you do see the circles rotating around. If I ask you, what is the taste of the drink in these bottles? Most likely you will say that the rightmost is strawberry flavored, while the leftmost might be orange flavored, isn't it? But that comes from an experience, from a memory that we carry for that color. But actually speaking, all taste like water because it's only the color which has been added. Let's just focus on that red dot for a few seconds. Now what do you see? Do you still see that red dot? Yes, for a few fraction of seconds, you will definitely see it. So what I'm trying to tell you here is, while you see something as red, green, blue, and so on, it's not just really the thing in front of you. It's the eyes which you're using to actually interpret that color. We've spoken about brain also today in the beginning of the session. And this brings me to a word which I want to introduce to you called qualia. If I pinch you, and if I pinch the person next to you with the same intensity, same physical cue, I'm sure you both will not experience the same pain, right? If I show you a red apple, the redness of that red apple may not be same for you and the person sitting next to you. It's that personal experience that comes along with the physical object that helps you see the colors. And that experience of having different, in spite of seeing the same physical thing, is qualia. Hang on with that word, and as we come towards the end of the talk, we'll see how that is important. So, seeing is not just by eyes. A lot of it is to do with the brain. Right from the childhood, we fill the world of child with colors. Red, blue, green, pink, and so on, isn't it? I hate to break it to you that a newborn cannot see colors. A child is able to see colors only when it turns 3 to 6 months old, and that too, it would start seeing red and green at the first. So that brings me to this question. If I give you a red apple and see it in the dark room like this, what would it look like? If I give you a green apple and if you were to see it in a dark room like this, what would it look like? The answer is dark. It would just look like black apple. Maybe you will not even figure out that there is an apple, because the colors are seen only and only when there is light. So far, we know that you need an object, you need a light, you need your eyes, you need your brain to be able to, I would rather say, perceive color rather than see colors. We can perceive color only when all of these things are present. That bothers me a little bit, because then is your red color same as my red color? It bothers me. Let's see how we see colors first. So, We all know that light comprises of 7 colors. And to be honest, it's not 7 colors, but it's actually a spectrum of colors. But it is these 7 colors which are the broadest bands there, and we think there are 7 colors in a white light. But it's okay. Let's just understand and stay with that light comprises of 7 colors. So you would see a green leaf as green because all the 7 colors come onto that leaf, and it's only the green component of the light which comes out of it, rest are absorbed, and it's the eyes which reacts to the green light that comes onto the eyes. Similarly, the red chairs that you're sitting on, it appears red because it's the red component of the light that gets reflected and others are absorbed. Not new. We all know basic physics, basic science from high school. Great. How do we see colors then? So let's go inside the instrument, the eye. When the light from an object enters the eye, at the back of the eye there is a screen, just like the screen here. And there are sensors on that screen. There are 2 types of sensors, rods and cones. We'll forget the rods for now. Let's just talk about cones. And the surprising thing about cones is that there are only 3 types of cones: red, green, and blue. So basically, our sensors in the eye are equipped to only see 3 types of colors. Interesting. Then how on earth are we able to see all the other variety of colors that are there? Right? So let's see how that happens. Only red, blue, and green, and we all recognize them as primary colors. But it is this spectrum of colors which can be created by using these 3 lights, red, blue, and green, and it will lead to all the colors by when a light of different color comes, rods and cones gets excited. The cones of 3 different colors get excited in different amounts, and all the signals are merged together by the brain to create that color. So it's a very additive phenomena that is happening within the brain, right? But just to prove that again, now let's take the same apple. Red apple, I look at it, I see it red because the red light comes out of it. Let's shine it with green light, no other light. Vice versa, let's take a green apple, shine only red light on it. What do we see? We'll still see only black apples. Because the very color that you would see from the red apple, the red light itself is not present. So let's just try this. You should not believe me, right? So how do we really make new colored lights? By using the 3 primary lights, red, blue, and green. And this is not new, right? We all know that red and green should give you yellow, green and blue should give you cyan, and then magenta. Just to demonstrate that, you can see here on the top left that blue and red light when mixed together give pink color, magenta color, and subsequently we can see cyan color, and we can also see yellow color. But I ask all the artists out there that when you mix green and red color, how much well you mix it? Can you ever get to yellow color? Definitely not. But when we mix the lights of red and green color together, you will get yellow color because that's the magic that's happening in the brain. In a printer, so if the primary colors are red, green, and blue, then a printer ink should actually be green, red, and blue. But that's not the case. What are the colors that we fill in a printer? We use cyan, magenta, yellow, and black. So let us see if these are the new primary colors that an artist would take as, and can it really give us all the colors when we mix them. So let's just have this look here. So we can see that, and this is a common experience, if you take yellow and magenta together, you mix them together, you will definitely end up getting red. If you mix cyan and yellow, you will get green, right? So in fact, we end up creating the primary colors from the other 3 colors that we use in a printer, right? And why does it happen? Because this is very illusionist, isn't it? I mix 2 different colors of light, and light is the cause of color. I get one color, But if I take the pigments and mix them together, I get another color. Why that happens is that if you take yellow color acts as a filter and it only allows red and green light to come out of it. And now if you overlap with a cyan color can only allow green and blue to come out of it, and hence, when you use both of them overlapping each other, it's a filtering, subtractive phenomena that is happening. Interesting. Brain does all the additive work, but when we are mixing the pigments, it's all subtractive phenomena. The fun doesn't stop here. Chameleon. We all know chameleons change color. The skin is the same, the light is the same, the eyes are the same. How are the colors changing? And we cannot find this with our limited instruments that we have, the natural instruments we have, that is called eye. And for that, we scientists, we try to deep dive into it to unravel the layers and see what's in the skin using several powerful microscopes. And what was found is that when there is a chameleon, while its skin has certain pigments, on top of the pigments are also crystals. It's the spacing between the crystals which keep on changing as it gets excited, as you can see here. Now, because the spacing between the crystal changes, the reflection of the light that happens also changes. So if the spacing is more, the wavelength of the light that is getting reflected goes towards reddish. And hence, we see change in color. New illusion that the nature can do. And it's not uncommon. We can see the same phenomena with mofo butterfly, peacock feather, several kinds of gemstones, and so on. So a new reason why we see color. We all thought the reflection of the light is what causes color. Here we see it's the structure that leads to color. As a scientist, why is it useful for me? It's useful to make a lot of things, anti-counterfeiting devices, invisibility cloak, and so on. But let me give you two fascinating examples, playful examples here. This is a chocolate where the color comes from structure. And with the angle that you watch at, you will see different kind of iridescence that comes in. This is a Lexus car, blue in color, not because of pigment, but because of the structure that has been coated on the body of the car. Fascinating examples. The Maya doesn't stop here. There are other reasons because of which you do see colors. Bioluminescence, firefly, jugnu, as we see it. It creates color because of another phenomena. So just to conclude and think about colors in a slightly different perspective, and to answer the question, are colors real? That apple in the center, the dictionary definition of that apple is actually an apple is a round fruit with green or red body and white flesh inside. But we see that color only because there is light, because there is eyes, and because there is brain. But truly speaking, you are the artist who is perceiving the thing, who is interpreting the thing. You have your own quail to see every color. So the world you see is not the world that exists. You see only a limited slice in the world, which is limited by the organs that we have. What we do not see, but perceive, is the Maya that we as scientists would like to unravel, because Maya makes reality even more beautiful. I'll stop at that. Thank you very much.